Hello, I'm Penelope Mavor, and welcome to Earth Converse podcast, where we explore our relationship and conversations with the Earth, all in the hope of inspiring a deeper connection with ourselves, each other, and the Earth that is our home. And look who I've got here. This is a delightful little gang of, of Puigpunyent chicas. So we've got Lily, Malu, and Tess. And I really wanted to bring their voices in and their beautiful personalities, and we're just going to have a chat and just go with the flow. So I'm going to ask you, I'll probably pop out and speak from afar. But yeah, how would you, hi.
Hi. Hi.
How would you introduce yourselves? Yeah.
Well, I'll go first. Hi, I'm Malu. I'm 9 years old. Sorry.
Yes, you did.
I just turned 10.
It was such a big day too, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. My parents got married on the same day of my 10th birthday. Yeah. What?
So you're 10.
Yes.
What else? How else would you describe yourself?
I like to draw a lot. I'm very artistic, I guess.
You are.
I don't know what to say about myself.
She's weird.
How long have you known each other?
Since what? They've been here longer than I have.
Yes.
I came 7 years ago.
7 years ago. Now, Tess, so how would you introduce yourself?
I'm 12, just turned 12. Yeah. I like acting and horse riding. And I'm odd.
Yeah. How odd. We love odd.
Odd as in, if you talk to me and you don't like me, stay the heck away from me. Thank you.
Impossible not to like you. Hey.
You'd be surprised.
But you're very assertive. I like that. I like that you know who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be a bit weird if you didn't know who you were.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. So Lily, how would you describe yourself?
Weird. It's the first thing that comes in my mind.
Yeah. If you had what to describe Lily, you would
Weird, definitely.
Really?
Weird.
Really? What's weird about
in a
you?
good way.
Everything.
Do you all feel weird?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we'll be friends.
Yeah. How would you describe the village that you live in, or your life? How does it? What's a typical? Yeah.
It's a very nice village. There's not a lot of people, but it's surrounded by nature, and it's good. It's a nice village to stay in. It's very calm and nice village.
I feel that.
You're surrounded by mountains. Of course, you have to be you step outside, you will have to see a tree at least. So it's good because if you live in Palma or anything in the city, you step outside, you'd have people bunching up, and you'd have cars everywhere and stuff like that. You step out here, and most of the time you're on the mud. Stuff like that. You're in the middle of the mountains, so
Yeah.
It's very quiet. We slept in a hotel or something in an apartment in Palma, and the difference of the noise.
you can't sleep.
You just can't sleep. It's impossible.
Yeah.
There's just cars until the morning.
Yeah,
It's just 24 hours, cars and cars.
You get woken up by a chicken or
The roosters.
Yeah.
And as well, here it's got everything. It's even got a hairdresser.
It has got everything. We don't have to go anywhere.
Quarantine was the best place you could be.
How was it for you?
Quarantine itself, very boring, but at least we have a garden, so it'd be fine. And was also kind of slow down, but you weren't really allowed to make contact. We'd only be in our group, so we'd go out. But we still do. We still go up to the house in the mountains and stay there for hours. Because in Palma, I don't think you have that freedom. You can just step outside and you're in nature. There, you have to get in the car, go to a beach or something to be a little bit near nature.
Did you go up to do you intentionally go up to the mountains?
Yeah,
It's like this abandoned house that we just
I know where you are.
And
Do you play in that?
There's
Yeah.
I love this.
There's a river with like a Tarzan swing.
We always
Even-
walk there.
Even though it has no water, so it's more of a just like
What at the moment? Yeah, but isn't that amazing? Did you notice after the the lockdown how clear it was?
Yeah, seeing the clouds in like the sky are very clean. The second we were on quarantine, like the second week or something, there was dolphins up in the marina.
Yeah. Think about, so when I said about talking about nature and environment and earth and planet, what's your view about your relationship with nature? Would you say you have a relationship with nature?
Of course.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Like naming everything comes past me.
Yeah.
Like trees, animals, rocks, leaves.
Yeah. Like personal, you personalize them. You say, you give them
Your name is Bob.
Yeah.
It goes
So
on with
natural,
kind of the same kind of names. This is why hiking with me is just thinking about names.
Yeah.
Really, yeah.
It's good before.
And what does it just? Why do you do that?
I don't really know why I do it.
Entertaining.
It's just kind of a game in a way. Think about it, like trying to come up with new names, but it never really happens.
Yeah, nice. I like that.
Well, the new name I came up with Jerry.
Jerry for who? Anything?
Well,
or everything?
there was Jerry the boat. Jerry the booger.
Nice one,
Wow.
Yeah. What about for you, Malu, in terms of your connection with nature? How do you feel?
I feel like I have a strong connection with nature. But I don't really know what to think about it. I don't know.
But you do, though. I mean, it's in terms of whether animal, whether you have the chickens or the trees. You really, I think you really do. Is it just it's so natural for you that it feels People sometimes, the people that I interview, I'll say, what's your earliest childhood memory? And they go, well, I was just part of it. We just ran around and we're out in nature, outdoors all the time.
It's automatic.
Yeah, automatic. And so there's no distinction. What about you, Tess? What about your connection?
I have a pretty strong connection because when I lived in France, my garden was connected to the forest. So I would just walk into the forest, and there was like this little pond with tadpoles and stuff like that. And always catch them and raise frogs and then put them back in there. You just automatic. I don't really see a life without nature. I mean, it's a bit boring to be like the Lorax. No, it's just like you look outside and what would you see? There's nothing interesting, like same old. And you see new plants, like, oh wow, new plants, this is cool. And like in my house, in my room, I really wanted plants and got some for my birthday. And this brings the house more lively. And like, oh, this is like my little babies. And I'm gonna get water every day and make sure it stays alive. Let them go so well. But
that's low. No, but keep going. I'm going to show you. I'm going to send you a link of the other guy he's like 20 years old and he's in Britain, and he basically all his house is full of plants. But just saying that about sort of just practicing and giving it too much water and then figuring out it doesn't need that much and seeing them grow, and it's absolutely so cool. Inspiring. And because he wants to bring nature inside, so that you intuitively did that. And you're painting on your wall.
It's like kind of like, it isn't like just a tree or anything. It's like got like the colours, like green and like a bit like turquoise, white and stuff.
You intentionally wanted that when your mum asked you when you talked about Isabel.
I was like kind of more like not just like one plain colour, because as well, if it's one plain colour or just like an actual thing you're trying to draw on the wall, you kind of just look at it and then every day you're like, oh, that's boring. But every day that I look at it, it's like, oh, that's interesting. It's like different from like what you normally see. And like I have a snake plant.
Do you?
And it grows little babies. And then you can just like take them out and replant them. Yeah. And then have a whole family.
Snake plants, so true. And what about like doing, you say you're horse riding, you're just you're paddle boarding? I mean, you mostly outdoors, or what is it? What is a typical day?
Contact my friends as in and my sister and stuff, and then see anybody who want to go outside and board.
Yeah.
Like, if a day out stuck in your house, you feel more boring, like you're so disgusted, like it's just not a nice. Second you go outside, you just feel like you've got fresh air to your body, and like you're not breathing the same air that you've been having in your house the whole day. Like if you have a person, two twins, have one that's always inside and the other one that is inside and goes outside whenever it wants. The one that's always inside will be really unhealthy and pale, will die earlier. Second one will live a really happy life, have as much sunlight as it needs, will go outside, breathe fresh air, live a long happy life.
Yeah, so, probably. Yeah. How do you know that, or how do you think that?
It's just because, well, when you're outside, you feel a lot more happy. Like the sunlight, the fresh air, fresh water, stuff like that, surrounded by nature. If you go outside in your middle of the street, of course you're not going to have the same aesthetic than if you're in the middle of a mountain.
Yeah, it's so true. No, you do feel better.
It's like you don't want. It's like in quarantine, everyone's like, "Oh, I wish I was like
going out,
not even. Like I wish I wasn't in Palma or like in a city. I wouldn't want to live in a city. I would. If I could, I would live more up the mountains just to see like because it's high, so you get like a view of the village and a view of the rest of the mountains.
That's nice. I love going actually at Galazzo and you can see Puigpunyent in the valley. But I do think COVID was a real different experience. Imagine if you were in New York, or you're in a family or somewhere else. Little apartment. No outdoors. Or you're in terms of being poor or in a terrible relationship, or really crowded. And then there's where we can actually have our freedom and garden. I found it quite difficult, even just to terrace. Like I actually haven't got anything on. I wanted to sort of lay on the ground. That's the first thing I did when I got out of COVID. I just sort of went up the mountains and lay on the earth.
What I thought in COVID is how lucky you are. Like being in Palma, like you live in Palma and you have like toddlers.
Dead.
Yeah, it'd be really nice.
You would just be like, when they're asleep, you're like, yes, like, I survived through the day. Because you don't have a garden, but then a car wakes them up and it's like, oh no.
Yeah. Do you want to be mums one day?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I do, but I kind of want to skip the baby nappy toddler part.
It's having the kids. Toddlers are just
and giving birth.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be.
The idea of that.
But then I don't want to adopt because then we're gonna have to get to the point of telling them.
Yeah. Do you want to be a mum?
Well, it's a weird decision to do right now. But yeah, I would like to be a mom, to have like my child I can look after and.
And what do you think about the future? What do you think about sort of the future of the planet? Or
if nobody makes changes now, it's gonna be disgusting.
If it keeps on going like this, then
we're doomed.
Yeah, it's gonna be like living in like baloney. It's gonna be
baloney. Nice.
Yeah.
It's like you're like dived into baloney.
Dived into baloney. Tell me more.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
No, but it doesn't taste good. It just looks like
it's just dark and horrible. And
really? Do you feel like that though?
I think it's gonna be like the Lorax. Like
it's plastic trees.
There's gonna be like people like, oh, I feel like planting a plastic tree. Oh, it lights up and changes colour.
But so seriously, do you feel like that? Like in terms of, or is that just sort of like, exaggerating or?
No, because like now like what year are you talking about? 2000?
I don't know.
2050. Everyone just imagines like this like cool place that cars are flying and stuff, but
It's not gonna
They're
be
blind
like that.
apparently.
It's not gonna be like that with your own like painting and stuff like
But
that.
you kind of need to like. It's like, for example, I don't know if you watch Back to the Future.
Yeah.
But I think it's like in 2015, like they say in 2015, there's flying cars in the skies is like great.
That's true. It's that seems funny.
But,
Yeah.
but maybe if you try to get all the people you know to try and tell them to tell all the people they know, they'll end up just telling the whole world.
Yeah.
Unless you get like, you go into space and you get like a microphone and say, hello people, don't pollute.
Yeah, is that the message?
Oh, damn, like, see,
Yeah.
they just want to fight and they don't care, and they don't care about people's rights or anything. They just care about themselves and that everything's gonna be fine because they are perfect. But like, if everyone's like that, well, we're kind of doomed because, well, people have to think, and we can't just keep throwing our rubbish into the sea and we'll kill the animals that are clean our sea.
But now there are like lots of companies that are trying to save the world, like save animals and the sea and turtles. And yeah, so that's making quite a change.
Well, I think in terms of going towards that direction, there's so many good things happening out there. Yeah. What do you do already around that? What do you do to help, to connect with nature or help nature or?
Recycle. Don't buy these like little rubbish plastic things for 1 year and then never actually use it. It's like me and my mum made and bought some beeswax wraps instead of using foil. Foil is really bad. And we ended up giving it to like our whole family, and we just gave it to everyone. And everyone still goes, what is that? Why don't you just use foil or like a plastic bag?
Yeah, and how does that? Yeah, and what do you think about that?
I think it's just a bit like they're just not conscious of it. They're just like, it's not like nothing's gonna happen, but they don't think that plastic is that big of a deal. Using out plastic.
Well, I think we are already. I think in terms of isn't it? Like the microplastics and
in our
really,
food
really
and our meat and
interesting.
stuff, because the animals eat rubbish from they eat plastic bottles because they don't actually see it, and then they eat it, and then they go in their body, and then we eat their meat, and then we kind of get little bits of it and stuff. So after a while, after eating lots, body kind of like full of rubbish.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing also about how bodies can cleanse in a way, but how that sort of impact over time.
Well, there's not really much I can do because like sometimes I like to donate to like companies who are trying to save like the earth and stuff, and I recycle a lot, and we hardly ever use foil, and the only time I use foil is when I'm like doing like a masterpiece, like an art piece.
I get you. And what do you think adults should do around,
Well, they think that it'll be fine, we'll be dead by the time that everything goes bad, and we'll just leave it to the youngers.
Do you feel like that?
Yeah, but as well,
how does that? Yeah.
It's bad. They should be teaching the small ones that we have to make a change, like stop buying plastic toothbrush, buy bamboo toothbrush, because like every single toothbrush that you've used in your whole life is still in the air right now, but you don't actually realize that. And if you use bamboo, it will disintegrate way faster. Little stuff like that will make a massive change. But they just think we're dead. They don't actually. They say, "Oh, I care about my child." They do, but they just don't think maybe they will be alive at that time.
Yeah. How does that fit? How does that feel for you? What does that? What does that make you think?
If I had like a parent like that, like I don't. Like that, not quite. I'm still being anxious, by the way, Lily.
Yeah.
They can. But if I did, I think I'll just be like, send me away. Send me away.
What do you mostly talk about?
Potatoes. screen on our phone.
Really? Why is it? Yeah, tell me more.
Well, to be exact, Miss Potato
Mhm.
Queen.
It's good details.
I don't know. I just like potatoes. Even though I don't
Expand. Really? Literally?
I don't really
Yeah.
eat a lot,
Mhm.
but it's like potatoes. It's simple. It's like mashed potatoes. It's a potato pile.
So potatoes that take up a lot of conversation. And what else? What else do you, what do you talk about in terms of potatoes? Different types of potatoes?
Lily being stupid.
Or as well, just naming potatoes.
Yeah. Well, we do also talk about like what's left in the house where we spend most of our days. We also talk about like we go around and we like find these plastic bottles like in the house itself. Yeah, like there's 2 levels. There's a roof with no roof, like we can see the roof.
Yeah, the
no
terrace.
roof.
The terrace,
Yeah, the terrace on top. And then there's
Terrace.
where you climb through the window, the floor. You can't step on the floor. There's so much rubbish. Teenagers nowadays are awful. They just like drink and let's think of all clean that for them. It's like, come on, use your mind.
We went to the abandoned house and there was bottles
of beer
and like vodka
and
just
different types of alcohol.
all sort of alcohol.
It's like spray cans and stuff. It's like, why would you just like? There's a little sign saying now, like use the house because somebody owns it. Says, I'll let you use the house, but just if you bring whatever you take. And so we do that. We bring our picnic rug back and our food and stuff.
Sure.
But everyone else was like, they're fine. They're just like, oh, I need a bed. I never noticed.
They covered the sign with a rock.
Yeah, it's staying. Oh, sorry.
Oh, we didn't see that.
But it is crazy because I do think, because people go to a nice spot. They want to celebrate something or have a special time, and they go to a beautiful place and leave rubbish here. It's amazing, like a disconnect for me. I don't get it.
We'll go through the mind of it. This is going to help everybody.
Yeah.
This beautiful right there.
Boom. Yeah.
It's going to plant something beautiful.
Mm.
It's going to plant pollution.
Yeah. No,
The
really.
end of the world.
The end of the world. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm pretty sure. I hope it's not going to be the end of the world.
If obviously global warming keeps going, then the world's going to overheat.
Mm. Does it worry you? Does it worry you?
Of course.
Do you think about it?
These aren't shower thoughts.
Yeah.
Well, I used to think of the sun exploding, but now I just think that's not going to happen.
No, it'll be us first.
Yeah, I think. Well, there is a thing about that. Things live and die. That at some point it will.
The sun is the star, so every star explodes.
There is a thing about. There's lots of research, in particular, around young people suffering from eco-anxiety and about sort of the state of, and it's a real thing. I think it's normal. Well, it is normal because I think it's a very natural thing and it shows you care. And but there's also about what we can do and what we and I think there's something about like just enjoying being in nature, enjoying what you're doing, loving the peace and loving the play and the adventure of that. And with I'm sort of looping back, but the horse riding, do you feel in terms of connecting like with an animal?
It's so
what
fun.
is it?
The best moments you have on a horse is definitely in the nature, not in like the pista. So if you go on the beach and start galloping around the beach, will be the best day of your life. Like different little things that make your life so much cooler.
Yeah.
I went to their stables and most horse riding they torture them, but then I went there and everyone's just there like cleaning the horse or going feeding it.
Horses are a lot happier in nature, so we try and give them.
They have massive little stable horses. Stable horses.
Yeah. Well, how many languages do you speak? You're 4, are you?
Fluently, I know English, Spanish, French, learning Dutch and German, and I know Catalan. I kind of know Catalan.
That's amazing. That's incredible. How many do you know?
Well, English, of course. Spanish, Catalan, German, a bit of German. Manx, actually.
Yeah.
And
What's Max?
you know Isle of Man, where my dad was born.
Oh, right. I kind of got it because of Isle of Man, Manx.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of I'm just
that's about it.
That's amazing. Oh.
Well, I know English because then I don't think I'll be speaking English right now. Spanish, a little bit of Catalan. I only know a few words of French.
Yeah, me too.
Wachu, cuckoo.
We were talking before about friends, about imaginary friends, because I was saying about my imaginary friend, because there's a guy on one of the podcasts who talked about imaginary friend, and he said, well, actually, no, it's a real friend. So you told me all three of you got one. You had one.
Yes.
Or had many in some cases.
Many. Too many, but I've got two best friends.
And are they still, do you still communicate, or are they still part of your life?
Yeah, more kind of. I speak more to myself now. Like 3 o'clock in the morning, what am I doing? Talking to myself, like in the shower. There's ideas that come to you that you never get out of the shower. It's called shower vibes.
Oh, I like it. Absolutely. Is that where you get your good ideas?
Yeah.
Shit in the shower. Yeah.
It's like if fish live in the water and we drink water, do fish drink air?
And like if we can't see air, but we can see water, can fish see air but can't see water?
Yeah, it's like
good question.
No, I'm still confused. Dogs can see black and white, all colours. Yeah. I maybe they're colourblind. Maybe they just can't see. They just give me that.
But we don't even really know. I'm reading this book about it's Stefano Mancuso, I think. He talks about the consciousness of plants, that plants have eyes.
That's pretty terrifying. It's like, hello, yeah, I'm watching you.
Yeah, maybe, but it's so mysterious. We don't know, do we?
I've got plants in my room. I'm terrified. I have shower thoughts. I have last minute night thoughts when I'm about to fall asleep. Maybe I should do this, and then I forget. Oh, I didn't do this, and then I don't want to go downstairs because I've already been downstairs 5 times. Thinking for other things to do, and then my mum is like, "You've been up 5 times. Go to bed." Or
I think, why don't you have a little journal beside your bed and so you can just quickly write them? Yeah, do you?
I got it because there's so much gossip in it that I'd stop writing it because there's so much gossip and I don't have a book for it yet. So.
What do you? Yeah.
Well, yeah, I've had loads of diaries, but there's one in specific that I've had since like 5 years old, and whenever I couldn't go to sleep, I used to just write all my thoughts in it, and eventually I would go to sleep, and my mom would find me like next to my journal with a pen and just
grab it and read it. That would be my mom.
But it is nice. It's a real technique, sort of psychologically, is just to write it down to get, to let go of the thoughts of the day. Don't you think you've got superpowers?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was in the bathroom. I was like, I'm outside. Why is nothing happening?
Like in the shower, like it goes down your body.
Yeah,
and
it goes through your hands. And
I'm
like, oh my god.
You're
shooting.
A particular story that you've got, or a memory about connecting. I mean, with nature, because in many respects, because I say that actually we're all nature. This is nature. Everything comes from nature. Everything. Everything, because it comes from from glasses, from sand, waters, from trees. Like at some point you could just name everything. Is all nature.
Well, I only name everything.
Yeah, well, exactly. To your point. So, you got a story, Malu?
I'm not sure. Can it be like about animals?
What about your chickens? Yeah.
Well, basically, one day we got these 2 chickens. I never really liked chickens. They were just like birds that woke you up and they were really just
annoying. Just like annoying. I can't
But one day, our friend had her chickens had chicks, and we took 2 home just to like care for them until they're like chickens. And I really had like a connection, like a bond with the 2 chickens. Well, me and my brother.
Yeah.
But sadly, my one died. I don't know how, but
R.I.P. Friday.
How was that? Because that is that first animal that you've had.
yeah.
It's really hard.
It was really sad.
Well, we didn't have a funeral.
What did you?
We still didn't have a funeral, but we're going to have one.
Yeah, you can have one now. Yeah.
Tomorrow, please, because I'm leaving next week.
Oh, you are. But I think there's something about that. I think it's really important. The first thing that's died in our lives, and to honour it, like do whatever you need to help address that, like a funeral or a ceremony, or
And there were people who sparkled too much, go out quickly, but they sparkled really bright and.
Oh, is that what you? Yeah, is that your experience?
Once you get like an animal, like Millie, she's part of the family now. Yeah, she's a family member. She's no longer. She's not just a dog. The dog. She's not. Oh, there's the dog. She's like,
no, because it's been very much part of the family. Absolutely.
If Friday had a life that short, she had the best life she could.
She did, and you looked after her so beautifully, and she also returns, didn't she? She returned to her place. You took her back, and and that's amazing. I think that's
poos on me.
Yeah, she pooed on her.
I got a video of her pooing on her.
But that was super cute, and how they followed around. I only saw them once, but you were so cute, so cute.
One of them was walking along.
Yeah.
I still have like a picture in my mind of like how they set up their little home, kind of, and then you'll just come and they'll be, hello, I want to come out, and then they weren't naughty, like they knew where they could go in a way.
Yeah.
They wouldn't just go jump up into the pool and be like, bubble.
And you had on your birthday, you had a lovely experience of seeing the dolphins, didn't you? You said
it wasn't on my birthday, but it was my birthday present. Because, my dad was working that day that we could have seen the dolphins. But he didn't want to miss it, so we did like 2 days after, and it was great. But that day we got to see apes and caves.
Wow.
I would love to see a monkey.
And about imaginary friends. About imaginary friends. Now that I know that Friday isn't home anymore, she's basically my new imaginary friend.
Yeah, that's lovely, Malu. She's always with you. That's beautiful. And they do, and I think I mean, like, I even do that with Dad. Like, my dad died, suddenly, and there are things I didn't have a conversation with him, but I do. I sort of have a conversation with him now, and as if he's there, and I sometimes a rock or a tree or whatever. I think it's really important. I mean, that's the nice thing. They sort of transform, and it's
That's how you have déjà vu.
Yeah, I love déjà vu. Isn't it cool?
Like, I thought, like, when you're in the moment and you think that you really have happened.
Yeah.
You might be, like, when you pass, you might be one of those objects. So you remember when that happened.
But, as well, it's like, if, for example, you don't have, like, if, for example, she was my friend, but I didn't hang out with her a lot. And, like, I don't know, she died. Not that you're going to do now. I don't think I don't think I would be sad. But it's like I'm happy that I had the moments like with her.
That's a lovely perspective, though. It's the same thing that you were saying, Tess. Yeah.
Same with like parents and stuff. You should always
look at the bright side.
Try to have more time with them.
Yeah, because if they die, you're just like, gonna be like, oh, I wish I did this with them. I wish I did that.
Yeah.
Time's up, love.
Yeah, but that's lovely. I mean, in terms of, and also celebrating what you do have. There's a poet, I can't remember what he said, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. And I think there's something really lovely about that. Happened, because celebrate them coming into your life. But that's a positive. You're all, I know your parents. You're all positive. It's a positive.
My mum.
Yeah. She is. I think, and it's sort of, you've got a good view on life. I think.
You just have to think positive. Unless you can't think positive. Because you have no second chance.
Wow.
Well, you do, like, you do have a second chance, but not in that very life.
Wow, who knows?
You might come back and be a ladybug.
Do you believe that?
Yeah.
The reincarnation? Do you think we come back?
Yeah. Do you know what the teacher once said?
Yeah. Do you? Yeah.
The teacher used to say that every animal that you kill, when you die, you'll become that animal and suffer what they suffered.
Really?
So that's pretty horrifying.
Yeah, wow.
So if you step on
an
ant, maybe once you die, you'll become that ant, and then you get squashed, and then someone will squash you, and you'll know how it feels, and then no one ever squashed the bug again.
Does that feel true to you that will happen? Is it something that somebody said?
I don't think I would. I don't believe that I will become that exact thing, but I do think that maybe you'll come back alive, and then you might have like a bit calmer.
I don't think it would be ants because obviously stepped on an ant before.
Without knowing. But if you see an animal go.
Yeah, hold on a minute. Yeah.
So but if you kill like a lion, if you are a hunter, then you might become the animal and get hunted down. It's terrible what they do to elephants. They take out their trunk.
Terrible, isn't it? And just sometimes just take the trunk.
Yeah, and just leave their stuff.
No, not the trunk.
The tusks. Sorry, that's what I mean. But it is interesting, isn't it? Like we can step on an ant. What's a life? Is a life the same? The life of an ant is the same as a lion. Is it? Should it be? But we do have this hierarchy.
You have to kind of respect more the same. You can't just say, I can squish this, but I can't squish that.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
They're kind of all kind of the same, but just different things. It's like everyone's the same, but they're different.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think and the uniqueness.
But I'm not saying we're all the same. Like you're me, I'm you.
No, there's a humanity.
We need to have a difference to be ourselves.
Yes.
It's really confusing. Like Malu and I are the same person. We had the same qualities and stuff, but we're different.
Yeah, really. There's so much of us, in terms of genes and our makeup, but we're individual, and I think that's the beautiful journey that you'll go on in terms of being true to yourself and being your individualness.
If you really think about it, everyone's family. Like for example, your great granddad was my great aunt of your uncle. No, aunt, because it's a woman.
Yeah. But we are. At some level, we are. We are all related. At some level, we are.
Yeah,
You're
Dad
right.
said that we're only 3 people away or 3 something away. Like Malu, I know Malu, and Malu knows somebody in the hospital, and that person knows me.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
He thinks things. Sometimes I've heard of 6 degrees of separation, but 3, I think, absolutely. Maybe even smaller for Puigpunyent. But
Everyone's family here. Like when I went to go play paddle, and this one dude had kids with 6 different women, and they're all connected somehow. It's really confusing.
Oh, brilliant. But we are all connected. We are, and I think that's the how do we be individuals self and be collective? I like the idea of solo together. We have to be our own unique self, but be in relation with each other. Yeah. And what makes a good friendship?
Loyalty.
Loyalty. For you too?
Just don't be
Mean.
just like just be nice.
Accept?
Be loyal.
Yeah.
Honest.
Yeah.
But you can't. It's like
Don't be boring.
you can't.
So you've all got phones, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. So how has that changed your life?
Well, it's good to contact people because before I couldn't really do that. I had to use like my mom's phone or ask my mom if, like,
Email.
if anyone wanted to go out. But yeah, so it's a good thing to contact with, but it's it gets addicting. So it's it's a bit bad for your eyes. So it's like medium, like it's good to contact everyone. So yeah,
50-50.
I think
Yeah.
I think the same with the contacting. But now all my mum says is you got a phone, do it yourself.
Yeah. That habit, like at Malu's age, I didn't have a phone at Malu's age, but if other people did, and like everyone's like, oh, I really want a phone, It's like, why would you need a phone? Why do you need it? Contact people, I don't know, you have a computer, iPad, anything like that. But everyone wants a phone because, well, it's cool, email.
And it's like, this is what everyone says. Like they say, it's good for pictures and I can contact people.
They only really want it for social media.
And are you on social media?
Yeah.
Yeah?
No.
Like, I mean, my nephews are a wee bit older, they're from Sydney, but their parents get a bit concerned about like being on the phones and being, you know, on the tablet. And do your parents
My
say something
dad
like
is like, get off the screen, get off the screen. My mum is like, she's fine with it because she's at 4 o'clock in the morning on Facebook and stuff. But my dad's very much like, go outside, go play with your friends, get off, give me your phone.
Yeah. And is that annoying or is that?
I mean, it's annoying, but I understand them. I'm like, it's like, okay, me now.
My mom and dad are saying like, get off your screens, okay? You have too much time on screens. Next, like 2 minutes, all of them are on my screen. My brother and I'm like, can someone play with me? You took my phone away.
Like figure out something to do. It's like, okay, but like what?
Yeah.
Like, can I go to the house with Lily or Malu? And she's like, okay, go and contact them. I was like, you're taking my phone off of me. Can I use yours? No, go up to their house and talk to them. Like the olden days. Like, Mom, it's not the olden days, please.
Yeah. For you, Lily?
We have like an app, so then I'm not on it that much. And I'm like, I think if like I've got that app, I've got like limits. So I'm more cautious, I think, than how much I use it. I try to not use up the whole time. I normally have in between like 2 hours, between 2 hours and 3 hours.
But you find yourself, in terms of this addiction, like it is easy. So therefore, that time that you would normally be outside or whatever, your outside time is being reduced because of technology.
I think it's just like and sleep.
I don't have my phone in my bed. I leave it outside my door because, like, if Mom there, like,
has affected. Yeah.
But the reason why a lot of people are on their phones, I don't go on my phone that much because number one, no one wants to text me.
She texted me.
Yeah. But I think like if you have like Instagram, you kind of just get addicted just scrolling through and going like this. Post. Oh no, my eyelashes were not curled.
Yeah.
And then it's just you get addicted and you post like 5 pictures a day.
But there's this platform called TikTok, and this girl, 16-year-old girl, has made millions because she has 86 million followers.
Yeah.
It's mental, but she's 16. And when she's older, TikTok's not a thing. She's going to feel pressure to do something, to to gain her fame and stuff. Like, in
Maybe.
2016, this dude was famous for doing the floss.
Yeah, yeah.
He was a backpack kid, and now everyone's forgotten about him, but he wants to gain fame again. And he's made this song, and it's so bad, and it's like, ooh, really bad. So now everyone hates him. Like now he's just like, great. Now what? He's like a kid that used to be flossing all the time.
But like that girl who's like 16, she's not like very like she's very sweet. She's really shy.
How
And
do you know? You don't know this girl.
Yeah, I know, but like
You can tell by the social media, but social media can tell you all kinds of rubbish.
My friend met her. She actually met her. She's at the meet and greet. She said she was really nice.
But Malu, you got an impression that this is, and how she communicates, sort of even on social media, is a particular character.
But
not
she acts,
traditionally.
but you don't know that she's nice even by meeting her.
Yeah.
You don't know her like at
She
home.
might be a rat to everyone, to her friends now because she's famous. She's like, go away.
I'm
I'm
famous.
just
I don't
famous
want to
for
hang
you.
out.
I can't imagine what it is to grow up with social media and that. I don't know if you've got such a more balanced view of it. I don't know how it is about.
Some
Making
people are there at 3
friendships.
o'clock in the morning trying to do TikToks. Or there's
Like you.
people. Me? I
Always
never
say.
know.
Yeah.
My
But I
phone,
imagine
my
it
phone
gets
locks.
swept up in that. I mean, there's a lot of people, that are very skilled, that are wanting that exactly to happen, to get people and really connected and continuing connected with the platform or the app.
Once you get famous, like on TikTok,
What can you do? You just keep dancing.
you as well. If you stop, they will start saying like, "Oh, she's rubbish." Like, she just stop.
But so with fame comes a lot of hate, and people have been so awful and starting rumors and like, I don't like him, I don't like her, I don't like him. It's like, leave them alone, you don't know them.
Yeah, you don't know them. It is just a persona. Yeah. Actually, I didn't think about. I don't know if that's a question. Do you get asked sort of what do you want to be, or like a
Yeah, that's a constant thing.
Yeah,
Parents
is
want
it?
to be a designer, I want to be an actress.
Yeah.
She's
It's very,
got 1,000
no
apps
offense,
for designing.
parents, but I think it's really important to do your own thing. Yeah.
my dad is, because I'm a very artistic girl and designer. But my dad really wants me to be like a designer, like design houses and stuff.
An architect.
Yeah. What?
Architect, design of a house.
Anyway, let's keep
Yeah.
going.
And so he really wants me to be one, but he's not like pressuring me. He's like basically like
Nudging you to be like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Please.
Come on, you can do it.
come on.
Come on. We're putting you in an architect school.
Yeah.
Like it or not.
And he's wanting me to meet a bunch of people because like a few days ago I went on this boat and there were two people who were like artists. One was like a very special like 3D designer, and one was like an artist, and he's like trying to organize a day with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I kind of want to do that, but I'm not sure. I kind of want to travel.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
It's just a question when you're young, like, what do you do when you're older?
It is a crazy. Yeah, it is a crazy question at that age. Yeah.
I mean, my sister barely knows what she wants to
Well,
do
she's
in 3 years' time.
She's
Chocolate potato.
When I was, I remember. So when I was young, I thought that money was just given to you, and some people were lucky than others. Some people like coins and others. And then I wanted to be a teacher.
And you want to be a librarian. I was so confused. I was like,
Yeah.
She just watched the film.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah. Who knows?
soon I'll want to be a zebra.
One day
Maybe.
we were like across the island in Canmel. You know where that is?
No.
It's just
On the
like
other side of Mallorca.
2 hours away. And one day we were at a restaurant and we were talking about what we want to be. And I was like, I I want to be a chicken, and everyone started laughing. And I'm like, no, I'm really good at it. And I started doing chicken noise.
Oh yeah. She acted like she was drunk. But she was drunk on sugar. Oh my god.
Brilliant.
And everyone was laughing so much. And I was like, why?
That's super cute. And it makes me think, when you say about Matilda, who, in terms of, apart from your parents, who's been a really big influence on your life?
Celebrity.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? Who in particular? You know, because we are influenced.
Well, there's this design, as in interior design. I would want it would be Queer Eye from Netflix. There's this, like, they would do makeovers, and I'd see this dude, like, each person would have a thing. So they would do Jonathan, they'd do hair, they'd do Bobby, they'd do interior design and design the house. They'd be Karama, they'd be like making you feel better by yourself. And there'd be Anthony, that'd be cooking and stuff like that. And each time we'd come back to your house, and you just, like, it made this massive difference. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, I like that, I like that. And ever since then, I've just been like, yeah, I want that, I want that, I want that. And then acting just kind of fell through it. Was like when I was younger, I don't know, I didn't really want to be in two different worlds, and acting kind of got me into that. So I could be a princess in a faraway land if I wanted to, but only drama. So I was like, I like drama now.
But I think that's the beautiful thing. It helps us be like different personalities or live different lives. It's like actually books, really. I mean, you can go into a different world. Inspiration for you, Malu?
My great uncle, who is a really good artist. I think that's where I get all my artist stuff from, and he's a really big influencer.
Yeah. Is he still around? Is he in,
Yeah.
Is he in
Just parents.
His parents?
Family.
Well, you've got a lovely family, yeah.
Yeah.
And I've just really realised how much you look like Lauren, actually, from side view. I've never really actually saw that.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, really. I haven't noticed yet. Yeah. Now, what is one thing you want to say to the world?
Don't pollute, weirdos.
Yeah.
Be weird.
Be weird.
We are good. We have to become the weird army.
What I have to say is we have to make a change. If not, the world will just die. Everyone will die. And
Just think about the future.
It can't keep going like this. Like,
what would you like to change? What do you think we need to change?
Everything that's bad for the world and animals and nature, of course.
Well, thank you so much for coming on and being here. So we'll put a pause here and see you back for the next Earth Converse podcast. Go and enjoy nature, one conversation at a time.